Good afternoon. Very good afternoon to everybody. First of all, I'll take this opportunity to welcome you all for the webinar presentation. Okay, webinar presentation. The topic is Alzheimer's disease. So once again, I welcome all the students and staff members for this webinar session. I'll take this opportunity to welcome our resource person, Dr. M. Paramasivam, on behalf of our Chair and College of Physiotherapy, our MD, Dr. Karthik sir, and Sneha ma'am, and our beloved principal, Dr. Selvarani ma'am. I'll take this opportunity to welcome you once again. Okay? And before starting the program, I'm going to give a few lines about the resource person, Dr. Paramasivam, MPT, PhD. He is a program director in King Saud bin Abdul Aziz University of Health Sciences, Al Azhar, Saudi Arabia. He did his UG in Government College of Physiotherapy. He did his PG in KMCH College of Physiotherapy. And he had a vast experience in taking classes and giving lectures, giving guidance for UG and PG students, as well as for the projects and dissertation. He did so many publications in international journals, and he did so many presentations in international seminars. Okay. And he's a well-known person for ourselves also. And on behalf of Chair and College of Physiotherapy also, we welcome you once again for this webinar. Okay. Once again, I'll take this opportunity to welcome you all. Okay. Thank you. I think Dr. Paramasivam can start your webinar session. Okay.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Start, please.
I think hopefully everyone's seeing the slide, right? The slide is visible. Okay. Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for giving this wonderful opportunity for Charan College of Physiotherapy in Coimbatore. I would like to thank Chairman Dr. Karthik sir, and special thanks to Dr. Selvarani ma'am, Principal College of Physiotherapy, Charan College. Always, I'm thankful to Dr. Jansi ma'am. She is always to participating to the presenting to the webinar. Okay, encouraging to the students. Okay, and international speakers and national speakers and other faculties. Thank you to everyone giving to this opportunity, and welcome to all the students, faculty, some of the clinical therapists, some of the academicians, everyone to welcome this webinar. Let me introduce to myself the second part. My name is Dr. Paramasivam. As I mentioned, Jansi ma'am, okay, all the details about my personal details, everything. Thank you for this opportunity. This is my second presentation to your institute. First presentation I did a few months before. Dry needling. This is second presentation. One of the neurological topic, Alzheimer's disease. First, I will give small historical introduction about Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease, its names comes from the one of the German physician. He is a psychiatrist. His name is Alois Alzheimer. Okay, so he is the one first found out about the Alzheimer's disease around 1895. So he is the one first how he is taking from the autopsy from the human brain. Okay, there is some changes in the brain cells. Okay, then he found out this is the Alzheimer's disease. And nowadays you can see in worldwide, many people, they are affecting to this disease. Okay. And then your people are seeing a lot of movies. You know, there is a Tamil movie. One of the movies name is called Aruvad Vaidu Maniram. This film is acted Mr. Prakash Raj. Is a very wonderful action about this disease. And some of the Hindi movies also, Surgical Strike, some of the English movies also. There are a lot of movies they described about this disease. Okay, I think some of the people knowing about this disease. Okay, let's go to the introduction. Actually, our university, this is our university, King Saud bin Abdulaziz University in Saudi Arabia. We are collaborating with one of the US university. The university name is called Oklahoma University, northern part of America. We are always collaborating with this university. We are sharing our classes, lectures to this both universities. We are collaborating. So this presentation from them, okay, actually, this is the National Institute of the Aging, okay, American Institute. Okay, this is the institute. They described some of the classifications, pathophysiology, symptoms, what's the role of the rehabilitations people. Okay, physical therapy, occupational therapy, social workers, psychologist, nursing care for the chronic disease people. Okay, this is the multidisciplinary team approach. So let's discuss one by one. So this is the first. We want to know, many people, they are confusing about Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Okay, Alzheimer's disease, it's a memory loss plus cognitive functional deficiency. Okay, this is a Alzheimer's disease, but the dementia, only the memory loss. Okay, so this is the difference between Alzheimer's disease and
Paramasivam?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Your
ma'am.
slide is not visualized, ba?
Okay, okay, ma'am. One
It's
second.
not visible. Your slide is not.
Okay, okay.
Your
Give me
screen is
one
not
second.
visible. Yeah, please.
Now it's
please.
fine. Now it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay,
It's
okay.
fine now.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
okay.
fine. Okay.
So
Okay, pa.
this is
You
the
can continue.
difference. Yeah, this is the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Okay, dementia cases, only the people having memory loss. Alzheimer's disease, memory loss plus cognitive function. Okay, where is this problem? You know, in the brain there is some cerebral cortex, fornix area, semi-oval centers. You know, already you are, the people are usually the students are studying clinical neurology in third year, and the PT for the adult neurology and the children's neurology, everything you will be studying. I don't want to go brief in the anatomy part, but I will give the small introduction about the anatomy. Okay, anatomy, this is the fornix area. Fornix area, there is a hippocampus, amygdaloid body, there is a semi-oval centers. This will be a connecting to the cerebral cortex. So the problem, it's arising into the semi-oval center, that's the hippocampus area. So what will be happen? Okay, there is a destruction of the brain cells. Okay, how it's the people is getting the Alzheimer's disease, destruction of the brain cells. There is a formation of the protein body. That's protein name is called amygdaloid. Okay, so this changes will be happen. The people is getting Alzheimer's disease. Most probably this disease is people is getting around age of 60 years. This is the most common. Okay, let's go this third slide. Okay, dementia, it's not a disease. This is a dementia is the symptom. Okay, make it clear, dementia is a symptom, not a disease. Okay, according to the DSM. DSM means diagnostic statistical manual mental disorders. You know, the US, they are classified. There is a stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Okay, this is the manual mental disorders classification. Okay, the dementia, it's a loss of intellectual abilities severe enough to the functional deficiency. The people will be get severe functional deficiency. And second symptom, the people having memory problem. Okay, usually this memory problem, the people will get recent memory. Okay, and third symptoms, their people is abstract thinking. Okay, abstract thinking means if you are asking to the people, Alzheimer's disease people, the people, if you are asking any question, example, where is the, if you are the patient in the home, where is your glass? They are taking to response long time. Okay, so this is called abstract thinking, loss of abstract thinking. Okay, and then second one is impairment of the judgment. The judgment means critical thinking. Okay, problem analyzing thinking. Okay, example, if you are saying some problem, okay, if you are giving any, asking to the solution, okay, the people is cannot to answer. So these are the impairment issues. And third one is the people is getting higher cortical function. The people cannot to speak. Aphasia, apraxia. Apraxia means they cannot to write properly. Agnosia, that's people having loss of sensory issues in the body. Okay, constructional difficulty. Okay, that's people cannot to think. Okay, inability to perform self-care activities. That means dressing, combing, okay, daily activities, okay, toileting, bathroom, okay. These are the changes will be happen in the Alzheimer's disease people, even though they are changing in the mood change. Usually mood, suddenly they are getting afraid, okay, suddenly they are getting hungry, okay. So these are the personality changes also will be happen, they are daily activities, okay. So these are the changes the people is facing daily. Okay, after the Alzheimer's disease diagnosing, okay, we will move to the next slide. Dementias can be reversible and irreversible. Okay, first we will complete the dementia, then we will move to the Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so dementia is the one of the symptom in the Alzheimer's disease. That's why first we want to discuss the dementia, then we will move to the Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so dementia is the two types, reversible and irreversible. You know, there is a many psychiatric issues, people with the depression, anxiety, psychotic syndrome, people they are taking it's a multiple medications. Okay, that means people taking hypertensive, diabetes, cardiac problems, some people having renal failure. This kind of people, the drug side effect, that means drug adverse reactions, will induce to the people dementia. Okay, so this is the one of the dementia reversible symptoms. Okay, nutritional deficiency, vitamin B6 is the thiamine, B12 is the cyanocobalamin, and folic acid deficiency. These people also, they are more chance to get dementia. And metabolic syndromes, okay, hypothyroidism, hypercalcemia, hypernatremia, hypoglycemia, okay, renal failure people, Addison's syndrome. This is one of the metabolic disease. So these people are more chance to get dementia. So these are the reversibles patent. Next one is the irreversibles dementia. You know, irreversible Alzheimer's disease is the irreversible condition. Okay, this is the, make it clear, Alzheimer's disease is the irreversible condition. And then the Parkinson's peoples also, they will get the dementia. Vascular dementia, you know, the most common in the brain, arteriovenous insufficiency, AV malformation people. Okay, so these people, they are also chance to get the dementia. Frontotemporal dementia, you know, this is the very one of the most common type. Okay, Alzheimer's disease people, the first there is 3 stages: mild, moderate, and severe. The mild stages, first the people will be get affected temporal area, temporoparietal area. So this is the first stage they will affect. Second stage, the people will get in the frontal area. That is the moderate stage. And third stage, it's the later stage. This stage, the people will get occipital region. So slowly progressing to this disease all over the brain, especially in the cerebral cortex area. It will be a destructing to the all the neuronal cells. So this is why they are, it's more common type is the frontotemporal dementia. This stage will be comes in the mild stage, mild Alzheimer's disease. And the multiple infarct, the stroke people, usually they will, some of the stroke conditions, they will get multiple infarct in the brain cells, okay, especially frontal area, temporal area, internal capsule area, okay, lot of areas they will get a multiple infarct in the stroke people. And Huntington's chorea, okay, this is the one of the basal ganglia issues, okay, the people is getting Parkinsonism. The another one is the common Huntington's chorea in the basal ganglia. So this is these people also more common get the dementia. And then people, AIDS people and multiple sclerosis, the people affecting in the multiple sclerosis, Lewy body syndrome, okay. So these are the disease, the people will get irreversible dementia. So this, until these two slides we discussed the dementia. Next we are moving to the Alzheimer's disease. Now we will start the Alzheimer's disease. This is the one of the people is example, 1,000 people, out of 1,000 people, 50 to 100 people, they are getting to the more chance to get the Alzheimer's disease over the age of 60 years, okay. Nowadays the health issues, it will be every decade it will be increasing the health issues. So major one of the health problem seriously affecting the not only the Americans, Europeans, Asian people, okay, African people, all over the world, okay. The people is getting over the age of 60 years, the people is more common, more chance to get the Alzheimer's disease, okay. This is the American National Institute of the Health. They are described, they are this is the US statistics, okay. What is the Alzheimer's disease? This is the irreversible and brain disease, slowly destruction of the memory cells. Do you know what is the memory center in the brain? Anyone knows? If you know anything, okay, just chat in the chat box, you can write it. What is the brain center? Memory center in the brain? Do you know anyone? If you knows, you can answer to me. In beginning of the introduction of the Alzheimer's disease, I mentioned this word, okay. Someone has answers, very good. Hippocampus. Hippocampus is the our brain memory center, okay. Already I mentioned, okay, the Spornex area, it's occupied the hippocampus, and sometimes the memory cells amygdaloid body, this also partially responsible for the memory, okay. It's the main center is the hippocampus, but amygdaloid body also responsible for the memory, okay, and the thinking skills. So this will be affected in the Alzheimer's disease, okay. Although risk of the developing the Alzheimer's disease with the age, okay. So the symptoms is most appear around the age of 60. Alzheimer's disease is it's not a part of the normal aging. It's caused by the fatal disease that affect the brain, okay. So the people will be slowly they are getting neurodegenerative disease. This is the neurodegenerative disease. That's why this is called as the Alzheimer's disease, okay. This is the introduction and definition of the Alzheimer's disease. Let's move to the next slide. So this is the statics, okay. I think statics is not important, but anyway, you have to know what's going on, okay. Alzheimer's disease is the most common dementia problem with the age of 65 years. The scientists estimate in world, okay, 4.5 million people is affecting Alzheimer's disease. 4.5 million means around, in Indian calculation is 4.5 crore people is affected all over the world, okay. For every 5 years of age, okay, that means 60, 65, 70, 75, it will be increasing the Alzheimer's disease symptoms. Okay, so every 5 years the people is increasing the symptoms. By 2050, 13.2 million people affected in the only in the US. Okay, so the current numbers will to no prevent treatment becomes available. Okay, let me clearly here. Okay, we are treating here, okay, as a physician, neurophysician, neuropsychiatrist, okay, a multidisciplinary team, everyone we are treating to the symptoms. Okay, we are not treating to the cause. Okay, because still there is they did lots of research. Okay, but we are completely, we cannot to cure this disease. This is the very, very important and clear point. Okay, this is the current up to date the treatment protocol for the Alzheimer's disease. Okay, we are treating only in the symptoms, we are not treating to the cause. Okay, so that's why we cannot to prevent this disease. Okay, so what is the Alzheimer's disease? Okay, you know, the people is getting the Alzheimer's disease, they are home-based, homebound people. Okay, assisted living facilities, that means they need for the family members to assisting for the self-care activities and other activities, daily activities, always to the help to the family members. You know, there is a nowadays a lot of nursing homes available for this Alzheimer's disease. In India, we don't have any association. No, association is there, but there is especially Alzheimer's disease. The government is not providing any funding for these people. Okay, but the privately there's a lot of nursing homes. Okay, I think one of the association in India, they're running a lot of nursing homes and all over the India, especially 35 and 35, 36 branches in all over the India, they are running. Actually in Chennai and Coimbatore also there's a available a lot of nursing homes for the chronic disease people. They are running a lot of nursing homes. These nursing homes, okay, they are providing nursing care, physical therapy care, OT care, psychological care, social care, physician, okay, they are providing, but this is will be a payable. Okay, but the government is not funding for any money for this kind of people. Okay, you know, this kind of people, if the government spending a lot of money, they have to be make a lot of budget. Okay, anyway, there is some countries they are providing for these people, there is a government funding. Some countries still not yet providing. Okay, the national cost for each people they are spending, okay, 100 million, okay, every year. Okay, so the lot of money they are spending for this people is Alzheimer's disease. Okay, next we are moving to the pathophysiology area. Okay, what's the changes in the brain, inside the human brain? You know, everyone, axon, dendrites, neural lemma, okay, myelin sheath. Okay, you know, the conduction activities, nerve conduction activities, you know, everyone, you studied in the physiology, the first year of the your program. Okay, the brain as a millions of neurons, you know, each with an axon and many dendrites. Okay, the state of healthy neurons must communicate with each other, carry out the metabolism and repair themselves. You know, this is the conduction activities in the brains. Okay, what will happen in the Alzheimer's disease? The people Alzheimer's disease disrupts all three of the this essential jobs. That means there's no conduction activities between the one neuron to another neuron. Okay, that means there is a, you know, the neuromuscular junction is the presynaptic membrane, postsynaptic membrane. It's a releasing to the acetylcholine. Okay, so this will be a disrupt. That means no connection between the presynaptic membrane and postsynaptic membrane, because this cell will be destructed or degenerated. So this is the problem. The people is getting memory loss and cognitive issues. This is the reason. This is the pathophysiological reason. Okay. you can see this is the 3 stages. Okay, first stage, destruction of the brain cells. Second one is the formation of the plaque, and third stage, formation of the tangle. You can see in the picture. Okay, the brain cells will be a 2 abnormal changes. Okay, first one is the beta amyloid. This is the beta amyloid. It's the protein. Okay, it's the formation of the flakes, which are dense deposition in the protein. Okay, especially in the mitochondria area, in the brain cells area. So it will be a outside and around the nerve cells. So formation of the protein, this is the abnormal protein. Okay, so finally it's forming to the plaque. This is the stage 2. And stage 3, neurofibrillary tangles, which are twisted fibers that build up the inside the nerve cells. You can see the tangle shape like rings. Okay, you can see like a ring shapes. The you know the lots of neurotransmitters, right? Can you say any one neurotransmitters? You know, acetylcholine, serotonin. There's a lot of adrenaline, noradrenaline. These are the neurotransmitters. But here, acetylcholine is the very important neurotransmitter. This neurotransmitter, it's not releasing to the presynaptic membrane to postsynaptic membrane. So nerve conduction activity will be defected. So finally the neuronal cells will be forming like tangles. Okay, twisted. So finally the brain cells will be atrophy. If you go to the MRI scan, the study findings, okay, the final conclusion of the findings, usually if you've seen in the MRI for the Alzheimer's disease, the brain cells will be atrophy or shrunken. Okay, this the 2 common words the radiologists they are commonly using for this Alzheimer's disease. Okay, we'll move to the next slide. So you can see here, okay, beta amyloid flake formations. This is a cell membrane. Okay, you can see the lot of the protein name is called the amyloid precursor protein, APP. Okay, is the precursor amyloid plaque formation. So there is a lot of proteins in the cells. Okay, in the membrane. Okay, there is a transport will be affected. Okay, so this protein will be like sticky. Okay, it's not moving to the one place to another place. Okay, in the cell membrane. So there is no transport between the cell membrane. This is the stage 1 affected in the beta amyloid plaque formation. Second one, enzymes. You know, there is a lot of enzymes in the our brain cells. This will be a cut the APP into the fragments of the protein, including beta amyloid. So there is a, you can see the picture 2, there is a cut. You can see the enzymes, it will be not transporting to the one cell to the another cell. You can see the second picture. There is a disruption in the connectivity. And third one is the, you can see the third picture, beta amyloid fragments comes together in clamps form the flake formation. Already I mentioned there is a 2 common formation. One is the flake formation, another one is the tangle formation. Okay, you can see third one is the flake formation. Okay, in Alzheimer's disease, many of them clumps form, disrupting the work of the neurons. This affects the in the hippocampus, other parts of the cerebral cortex. Already I mentioned, okay, other parts of the cerebral cortex, in first primarily affecting to the parietal lobe and the temporal lobe, and third it will be affecting to the frontal lobe, and fourth will be affecting into the occipital lobe. So it will be slowly spreading all over the brain. So finally the patient will be in the bedridden. There's no communication. Okay, we will discuss in this stage 1, stage 2. We will discuss in the upcoming slides. Move to the next slide. Okay, this is the neurofibrillary tangle formation in the brain. You can see the microtubules, you know, the neurofilaments. Okay, there's a lot of neuronal structure, healthy neurons, and people with affected the Alzheimer's neurons. You can see the pictures, all the pictures. Deceased neuron, how can see in the third picture. This is the third picture. You can see the neurofibrillary changes and disintegrating the microtubules. Microtubules will be destructed, and finally it will be look like tangle formation in the microtubules. Okay, so there is neurons have a internal support structure partly made of the microtubules. The protein called is tau helps stabilize the microtubules. This usually will be a normal protein. In Alzheimer's disease, the people affecting the tau protein causing the microtubules, it will be totally collapsing. Okay, so and the tau proteins clamps together, it will be forming the neurofibrillary tangles. So the people will be affected to, this is the neuro physiological changes in the brain. Okay, so we completed until now definition and pathophysiological changes. Okay, what is the research right now? What is their people is doing for the Alzheimer's disease? Okay, what's the research there? What's their found out the causes? Okay, first one is the scientist examining the lifestyle and disease rates of the growth of the people. Okay, the people, what's the causing to the Alzheimer's disease? Two of the studies focusing to the religious communities. Okay, conducting the research and examination for especially physical examination of the body and mental status of the mental status examination, and studies of the donated brains autopsy. Okay, you know, the after someone is died, okay, they are taking from the autopsy from the brain. Okay, what they revealed from this study, from this brain, okay, mentally stimulating activities protects the brain in some ways. You know, there's a lot of stimulating factors in the brain. You know, stimulating factors means that's a neurotransmitters. This will be affected. And then second one is exercise as equally protective highlights. Okay, what's that mean? Exercise, it will be helping to the people brain cells. It will be not growing over the 60 years. The brain will be not growing any brain cells. Okay, our brain cells is maximum, the growth will be until 25 years. After that, it's slowly, it's coming to the degradation. Okay, that means why they are saying to exercise here. Exercise, it will be protecting to the brain cells. That means it will be not going to further degeneration. That means exercise will be helping to the brain. This is the point number 2. In earlier life, higher skills in grammar and density of ideas are associated with the protection against Alzheimer's disease in later life. That means if you are doing in the earlier life, if you have very skilled person, if you are using the lot of speaking of about your grammaticals, okay, you have a good skilled person, if you have good thinking people, okay, this will be helping to the later stage, okay, for your problem. Okay, so in your young stage or middlehood, okay, middle age, okay, adulthood or adolescent age, you have to be a work actively. Okay, if you keep your brain active and fresh, okay, this will be a help to when you are getting the old age. Okay, you will be avoiding to this kind of disease. So this is the conclusion they made it. Okay, continuation of the research, how they will be diagnosing to the Alzheimer's disease. You know, expert physician, you know, neurologist, okay, and some of the psychiatrists also. Okay, they will diagnose. Okay, some of the tools they are using for the diagnosing. Okay, first they will do the physical examination for the, especially for the dementia, the people having any memory loss or anything. Okay, if it is a family, they will also same time the neurophysician or psychiatrist, okay, they will discuss with the family members. Why they want to discuss with the family members? Okay, they are thinking about the, they are asking about the patient, anything, any cognitive functional deficit or their life. they will discuss with the family members also. And treatment, they can start as soon as possible. Okay, the earlier stage treatment, it will be very helpful for the patient. Okay, it helps scientists to learn more about the causes and development of the Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so they have to be a scientist, you know, still they are working for the scientists. What is the causes? Okay, what is the issue for this disease? Still they are working. So nowadays in the physician, okay, there is a lot of tools to diagnose the Alzheimer's disease. Usually the first step, you know, the subjective assessment, okay, and then, you know, family history, okay, family history, the personal history, social history, all the histories they will collect, okay, information they will get from the family members and friends. You know, the third diagnostic tool, they will use the physical and neurological exams, you know, EMG, EEG, okay, nerve conduction study, okay, electromyography, okay. And very important diagnostics tool, usually they will go for some of the physician for, they will go for the CT scan, but some of the physician, they're directly referred to the MRI scan, okay. MRI scan, it will be a give soft tissues details more clear. That's why most of the physician, they will suggest immediately to the MRI scan. PET scan, you know, the PET scan for this disease, it will be spread at any over in the body. They will, this diagnostic tool will be helping to them to get more details about this disease. That means positron emission photo tomography, it will be any other bodies it's spreaded or not, they will confirm from this scan, okay. So these are the diagnostics tool, you know, the basic investigation, definitely they will go for other investigations also, okay. Next we are moving to the, what are the changes in the PET scan. You can see the PET scan, no one knows what causes Alzheimer's disease. Okay, what is the cause for this disease? Straight answer, unknown cause. Okay, but there's some other causes also, already we discussed, okay, some other medical issues, okay, but genetic also one of the cause, okay. The first and foremost cause unknown, okay, but there is some other causes also, they are affect people is getting for the Alzheimer's disease, one of the genetic and environmental causes and lifestyle changes, okay. So this is the changes in the brain cells. First one, you can see the normal PET scan, okay, and second one, people is affected in the Alzheimer's disease PET scan. So what's the difference between? There's a lot of changes in the temporal area, frontal area, occipital areas, okay, especially in the fornix area, you can see. Okay, next one is the clinical symptoms, okay. We completed the research area. Now we are moving to the research area we completed, and then laboratory diagnostic tools also we are completed. Now we are moving to the clinical symptoms. Alzheimer's disease, people with the affected, they will affecting in the entorhinal cortex area, especially in the hippocampus area, okay. What will happen? The people will affected the Alzheimer's disease, the brain cells will be a shrunken and atrophy, okay. Changes will be a 10 to 20 years before the symptoms appear, okay. Example, someone is right now 60 years, okay, maybe when he is 40 years, okay, 45 years, that time onwards, slowly this disease will be progressing to the symptoms, but the end stage of the symptoms will be appear in the age at the age of 60 years, okay. But before that, it's slowly appearing to the symptoms, okay. First symptom, the people having the memory loss is the first sign of for this problem, okay. So now we are discussing to the 3 stages, mild and moderate and the severe stages. These are the 3 stages. Each stage, what are the intervention, okay, as a multidisciplinary team, okay, what they will do for this each stage, okay. we will discuss to be here. You know, the cerebral cortex is the one of the important area. This area will be a shrunken, neuronal cells will be a destruction or will be a dying. What is the goal to helping to this stage? Okay, how to maintain this stage? Okay, this is the stage is the mild Alzheimer's disease. So this people stage, the people, what are the symptoms will be appearing? The people having impairment of the learning. Learning means they cannot to learn new task. If you go giving any task, okay, can you bring it the scissor? Can you bring it the glass? If you're giving any task, the people is cannot to do. Okay, they're very difficult to learn in the stage. And reason memory. Okay, reason memory is 2 days or 1 week before, 1 month before. Okay, any function will be happen in the family. Okay, they will forget. Okay, this is the loss of the reason memory, impairment of ability to attend specific stimulus. Okay, in the complex environment. Okay, that means if you are going to the any gathering place like marriage hall, okay, any function, okay, there's so many people, many activities over there. Okay, they cannot to recall it. So this the complex activities, very difficult to handle this stage. Okay, next one is the misplacing and losing of the personal possessions. Okay, example, the patient is wearing the glass, okay, but where they are kept, they don't know. Okay, and then where is their cloth, they don't know. Okay, this is the beginning stage. And word finding anomia. Okay, that means if they want to pronounce any word, okay, they cannot express the particular word. That is called as the anomia. Okay, these are the symptoms will be appearing this stage. So what is the intervention for this stage? Okay, so include memory aids. There's a memory. Okay, you can give the, as a therapist, we can give the in the home. Okay, write it in the paper. Okay, this is the place is the kitchen. Okay, this is the place in the your personal items. Okay, this is the place is called as the your computer. Okay, just make it the pamphlet. Okay, in your the walls in the room. Okay, this is the easy way to identify their personal items. Okay, they are daily activities. Okay, this is one of the remedy. And second one is the central and same location for the positions. That means central and same location. Okay, example, today they are keeping the cloth one place, means the next day also they have to be keep the cloths the same place, then only they can remember. Okay, if you are misplacing the items, the personal items or the professional items, whatever, okay, same place they have to be keep it. Okay, then only they will easily to identify their own items. Okay, use of routine and habit. Okay, repeat it 10 times, 12 times, 15 times. Okay, they can remember those items. Okay, ask the people simple questions. Okay, what is your date of birth? What is your name? Okay, how many kids you have? Okay, how many kids are you married? Okay, ask the simple question to the patient. Okay, allow extra time, give time to processing for the brain. Okay, perceptual processing for the brain. Okay, don't hurry up, don't quickly don't ask the many questions, give time. Each question you have to be give some time, then they will take to process their brain, and then they will give the answer. Avoid correcting errors. Okay, what's that? Avoid correcting errors. Something, okay, patient is did mistake. Okay, don't to get recorrect immediately. Okay, no problem. Okay, give it a chance 2 times and 3 times. Okay, give the learning. Okay, learning phase. Okay, as a therapist, okay, we have to be give the chance for the more chance to the patient to learn the activity. Okay, to learn the exercise. Okay, so we have to be give the more time. And respect and denial as a coping skill. Okay, if you are anything you are giving to the patient, usually they will deny. Okay, I don't want to continue the exercise, I don't want to continue the activity. Okay, so we have to be motivate to the patient. Okay, if you are doing this one, you will be get good recovery. Always you have to be give the motivation to the patient. Okay, protect safety. Okay, very, very important. Fall prevention. Okay, if the patient is sleeping in the bed, okay, handrails, okay, keep it the safety. Okay, if the patient, when the patient is going to the bathroom, always give to the walker assisted device, or someone family members assisting to go for the bathroom. It's more common fall in the patient in the bathroom, okay, because it's the wet area. And then another common area, staircase. Okay, so these two areas we want to focus more. Okay, so we want to guide this, especially these two areas. Okay, actually the patient having Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so we don't want to get another issue. That means we want to protect the patient. Okay, all the safety measures we want to make to this patient. This is the very, very important. Okay, this is the fall prevention management. Okay, this is the very important for as a therapist. Okay, we want to guide to the patient. Okay, so only this kind of protocol only for this patient. No, you have to be, if the patient having pain, okay, you have to be a pain modalities you can use for this patient. If the patient having range of motion problem as muscle weakness, according to the issues, okay, range patient having decrease in range of motion, you have to be start the range of motion exercise. Okay, patient having muscle weakness, we have to be do for the strengthening exercise. Okay, and important, very, very important thing is these people having balance and coordination and gait. These three factors we want to always to consider. Okay, balance training, coordination training, and you know the protocol. Okay, you know the management protocol for the coordination. Okay, and then balance training exercise. Okay, and then gait training. So these three protocol we want to implement to the, especially as a PT, we want to implement this management protocol. Okay, so what are the mild cognitive impairment? Okay, the research indicates that improved performance is possible, but there is no standard intervention for these people. This approach, okay, skill building through the task-oriented motor practice. This is the very, very important task-oriented motor practice, motor relearning theory. This is the very, very important MRP. Okay, motor learning program. So this is the one of the specific topics we want to discuss separately, but just to know it. Okay, how, many of the practitioners, the motor learning approach. Okay, you can implement this technique. Okay, and preliminary results indicate improving the each and every task. Okay, maintain at least 3 to 4 months. Okay, if you are giving your example, you can start at today. Any task, at least you have to be keep this task 3 to 4 months. Okay, example, how to go for the garden. Okay, from house to the garden. Okay, so you have to be repeat these activities daily. Okay, 3 to 4 months. Okay, then only the patient memory he can keep, or he or she can keep, and then she will do the routine activity. So this is called as the motor learning approach. So this we want to implement, very, very important technique. Okay, and next, this is the stage 1 we completed, mild Alzheimer's disease. Stage 2, moderate Alzheimer's disease. This intervention, okay, focused on the, especially in the environment. Okay, and the focusing especially in the helping to the caregivers. Nowadays people having, the rich people, they are keeping for the caregiver. Okay, caregiver always to assisting to the patient. Okay, we want to give some instruction as a therapist. Okay, we want to give some instruction to the caregivers to helping the patient to live, okay, less difficulties. So this is the our instruction. Okay, our home based intervention protocol for the patient. This protocol included the caregiver. Okay, some of the Western countries, usually they are having each home, the people having affected, they have caregivers. So the caregiver most of the time spending with the patient. So which we want to, as a therapist, we want to give instruction to the caregivers. Okay, so what are the, in this stage, what are the problem? The people having always confusion and disorientation and safety concerns. Already we discussed safety concerns, difficulty in they are doing the self-care activities. You know, already I mentioned what are the self-care activities, and sleeping disturbance. Okay, usually they are sleeping in the night time. Okay, and daytime also they are sleeping. Okay, most of the time they are sleeping. Okay, always they want to sleep more. Okay, but when they are wake up, we don't know. Okay, in the mid time of the day, mid day of the night, they will suddenly wake up, they will go somewhere. Okay, someone is suddenly, okay, if no one noticed it from the family members, suddenly the patient is missing. Okay, they went to somewhere. Okay, in many countries they happen, many patients, they are usually suddenly disappearing, missing. Okay, how to identify this patient? Very, very important thing. Okay, but some of the Western countries, they are following chip. They will fix their chip in their body. Okay, if they are missing, okay, they can find out easily. Okay, but you know, in our country, okay, in India, what is the easy way to identify? Okay, always they are keep their pocket. Okay, their address. Okay, contact number. Okay, and then their home address details, everything we have to be give to the patient. Always we have to be keep in the patient pocket or wallet. Okay, always we have to be fixed in the patient pocket. Okay, if they are missing, okay, someone immediately we call to the family members, they can easily to identify. Okay, so this is the one of the important area. Okay, and then next one is the hungry outburst. Suddenly they're getting, okay, hungry, and then they're shouting. Okay, they are conflict with the family members, therapist. Okay, so always they're getting agitation. Okay, so this is them. You know, they have stress and depression. Okay, so they have a lot of difficulties they are getting in the stage, especially in the psychiatric. Okay, what is the intervention for this stage? Okay, use repetition. Repetition means you have to be repeated. Okay, to do the same task. Okay, don't give the multiple tasks, give it 2 or 3 tasks, reduce the number of the task level. Okay, then only the patient will be easily to understand and recognize, and then implement it easily to can perform this task. Okay, minimize the distractions, focus on big picture versus the detail. Okay, give it to them. Example, big pictures. Okay, example, in their home, okay, they have TV, make it a big screen. Okay, they can easily, they can understand. Okay, whatever example if you are giving to the picture, okay, give it the big. Okay, they will be easily to understand. Changes in the environment for the safety. Okay, you know, the home safety. Okay, home environmental modifications is the one of the very, very important. Okay, make it the when they are going to the garden, when they are going to the park, okay, when they are going to the leisure activities, always we want to consider the patient environmental factors. Simple one-step instruction, use the humor. Okay, that means give the simple instruction, easy to understand the patient. Okay, use the distractions when the patient having, if the patient having any distraction, you have to be make it the focus on the particular activities. Okay, encourage always to regular exercise. Okay, do it in the morning 30 times and the evening 30 times. Take it the family members to the walking in the garage. Okay, around the home, around the home. Okay, near to home. Okay, you have to be always to the patient to encourage to the physical activity. Okay, and sleep habits, always to take to them bed around the night 10 p.m. to until morning 6 a.m. Okay, at least they need sleeping 6 to 8 hours, minimum 8 hours. Okay, and then always to teach for them stress techniques, stress relaxation techniques. Okay, so we want to implement as a many techniques in the stages. Okay, next slide. Okay, next is the last stage, severe stage. In this stage, mostly patient in the bedridden. Okay, they have very less communication, less physical activities, everything it will be diminished. Okay, in this stage, the brain will be getting severe. Okay, severe atrophy, severe shrinkage. Okay, this stage ultimately results will be a patient will be a final stage. The patient will be a lifespan will be a complete. That means this stage will be a patient will be a death stage. Okay, person cannot to support the bodily function. Mostly all the functions will be diminished. Okay, what is the symptoms in this stage? The patient cannot to recognize any family members. Okay, familiar places. Okay, they cannot to do any dressing. They need caregiver support or family members. Okay, even they have eating problems, they cannot to eat. Okay, they need to eat for the helpers. Incontinence, you know, the urinary and bladder incontinence issue. Okay, they will pass spontaneously, they will pass stools and urine in the bed. Okay, they can and immobility, they don't have move their limbs. Okay, skin breakdown, you know, in this stage the people will get the bed sores. Okay, bed sores, bed ulcers, skin ulcers. Okay, so we want to consider the bed sore management also for this patient, sorry, this condition. And what's the intervention for this stage? Okay, use the routine. Okay, link the as soon as possible. Okay, you can link to the past and environmental cues. Okay, that means this is your family members. Okay, this year you got married. Okay, you have 3 children, you have grandchildren. Okay, you have to be a you worked at this place, you worked 30 years. We want to recall the all the fast event for this stage. Okay, as a family members, especially family members in this stage is very, very important. Okay, so each and every family members we want to support for the this patient. Okay, promote automatic overlearned movement. Okay, as soon as much maximum we can teach to the patient. Okay, what are the easily to learning activities we want to teach the patient. And then rehabilitation, very, very important thing. We want to give the reassurance for the family members and then patient. Okay, avoid correcting. Okay, if the patient is did mistake, no problem, leave it. Okay, give the another chance. Okay, avoid, don't to rush anything. Okay, don't any making stressful the situation. Eliminate the safety hazards. Okay, you know, near to the patient, don't keep any sharp materials. Okay, some hazardous materials, fire. Okay, and water. Okay, so slippery walls. Okay, so this kind of things we want to avoid. Okay, next one is the what's the managing behaviors. What's the research for how to manage for this patient behavioral attitudes. Okay, between 70 to 90%. Okay, people with Alzheimer's disease eventually develop behavioral symptoms. Okay, they are not sleeping. Okay, sometimes they are oversleeping. Okay, wandering and facing aggressiveness, agitation, you know, hunger, depression, all the psychological issues will be facing, especially hallucination. Okay, you know, in the first year the students already they studied illusion, delusion, hallucination. Okay, so I don't want to describe more detail to be here. Okay, stay calm always to the teach for the patient will be a relaxation technique. Patient will be a flexible. Okay, don't argue with anything to the patient. Okay, what is the patient convenient? According to the patient convenient, leave it. Okay, don't to rush anything. Acknowledge the request. What do you need? How can help you? Okay, do you need anything? Okay, how can help you? Ask the patient more. Okay, try not to take behaviors personally. Okay, whatever the issues, don't to take anything personally. Even the conflict between the therapist or patient or anything, don't to take it personally. Okay, leave it. Okay, because of this is the disease issue. Okay, that's the why the patient is behaving like this. Okay, we have to be understand. Okay, the situation. experts encourage to the caregivers try to do the non-medical coping strategies. Okay, however, medical treatment is often available if the behavior has become too difficult to handle, if the patient having too much agitation, okay, and too much aggressiveness. There is some anti-delusional drugs available. Okay, the patient always they are giving some sedative drugs. Okay, this sedative drugs will be to reduce the aggressiveness. Okay, and researchers to continue to look at both medical and non-medical way to help to the caregivers. So this is the now still on going on research for this problem. Okay, what are the common problems will they have facing their Alzheimer's disease people? Losing their important things. Okay, they very important things like already I mentioned. Okay, dressing, glasses, okay, class. Okay, so this kind of things will be they are getting lost, and repeated calls. Some they will call to the son and daughter, they will call frequently. Okay, bad mouthing, you know, they are not doing any brushing activities. Okay, their clothes are very dusty, poor hygienic. Okay, not sleeping properly. Okay, and emotionals, always they are getting emotional issues. Okay, threatening. Okay, you know, there is a lot of there are behavioral issues. Okay, then personality issues also they will face. Let's go to the final end stage. Who are the people is getting for the Alzheimer's disease caregivers? Okay, you know, the spouse. Spouse is the very important. Okay, example, the husband is getting Alzheimer's disease, the woman also, the wife, she must to take care of the husband, and daughters, grandchildrens, everyone in the family members. Okay, daughter-in-law, brothers-in-laws, other communities, brothers, neighbors, everyone, we want to support this kind of people. Okay, to emotionally, okay, in personally, whatever the maximum help to this family members we want to support. Okay, so this is the supporting to the family members. And demands of caregiving. Okay, you know, there is some of the people, they need physical and emotional support for the family members. Okay, and constant personality support for the people. Okay, and need to reduce the physical and mental stress. Okay, and peer support, friends. Okay, same age group people, they are inviting to the home. Okay, so just speak with them, they will happy, and then they are recalled to the old memories. Okay, so this is the way of helping to the patients. Okay, this usually they are following the most of the countries. Okay, you know, in America they have Alzheimer's association, but in India also there's American India also they have a association. This association actually privately they are running. Okay, in all over the India, but they are actually this is the paid service. Okay, but in some of the countries already I mentioned. Okay, this is the free service for the government will be providing to the people, free service. They are spending a lot of money for the particularly this problem, they are spending a lot of money. Okay, so this is the National Institute of the Health. Okay, they are doing for especially this disease, still they are doing research how to, okay, treat many ways, even though they are previously confined the vaccination for the Alzheimer's disease. This vaccination actually producing a lot of complications for this disease. So the government has to be stopped this vaccination. So still the experts, they are doing the research in the Alzheimer's disease. Okay, so this is the final conclusion. Okay, I'm going to complete the end stage of this condition. Okay, what's the conclusion from this disease? You know, already I explained what's the etiology is unknown. There is a lot of symptoms, clinical signs and symptoms, and management. Management is the physician side also, some management protocol, and rehabilitation side also, not only the particular department, all the departments, PT, OT, social workers, everyone, they have the nursing care, caregiver, everyone, they have participating for this problem for the management. As a PT, okay, we have to be according to the symptoms. If the patient having symptoms, okay, you know, mostly this patient, sometimes they are saying idiopathic pain, okay, so psychosocial pain, okay, they don't have pain but they will say, okay, but we have to be consider the patient, okay. These are the supportive management, pain management, range of motion exercise, okay, muscle strengthening exercise, gait training, balance training, okay, coordination exercise, all this treatment management protocol will be a only for the symptoms management, but there is no cure for this disease. This is the conclusion, but still on research on progress, okay. Hopefully easy way to I gave the explanation to everyone, okay. This is my end of the slide, okay. You have any questions, you can raise it. Especially this topic will help to the bachelor degree student and master degree students.
Students, you have any questions to ask? PG and UG students? Okay. So shall we take a leave permission?
If you have anyone in the future, if you need interesting topics, I can deliver to you. Okay, if you have any suggestion for the good topics, okay, definitely I can do my best.
Okay. So on behalf of Charing College of Physiotherapy, we thank you so much, Parmeshwan. Dear Parmeshwan, we thank you so much for
Thank you very much,
spending
ma'am.
your time with us and giving a wonderful webinar. Thank you so much. Hope we go on with continue the webinars in the same way with other new topics, research-oriented topics.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful
Okay,
words.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all students.
Thank you.
all.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Parameswaran?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Pa. Thank you once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. See you.
Thanks.
Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am.